Okay, so now what I've done is I've put a piece of scrap paper in the bed of the press. What you could do is create a registration guide for this. You would just end up creating one that shows the size of your plate and then has the size of the paper to help you line it up while it's going inside of the press. So I'll do a separate video and demonstration to help you with that. For right now, I'm just playing around, so I just put my plate, which I've just blow dried, onto the scrap paper, and now I'm going to put my paper, which I just pulled out of the water and pulled all of the excess moisture out of, on top of the plate. Just remember, like, once the paper's down, it's down. You really can't move it anymore. And then just to make sure I have enough pressure going through the press, because the plexiglass isn't super thick enough to work with the space between the bearing and the bed of the press, I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of map board in with it as well. And then just remember, our press has this gap in the bearing, so I want to make sure that that's down under here. Okay, so I have it down at the very bottom here. And then I'm going to go ahead and push the bed in until where the plate is creates the traction to help it to move. And then, there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it through. And once it's on the other side, go ahead and pull the map board out. And then I'm just going to pull the paper up by the corner and just take a peek to see if it transferred. And it looks pretty good, so I'm going to pull it off. If you feel like it didn't transfer, what you can do is you can mist the back of the paper a little bit with a spray bottle and try sending it through again. You just have to be careful when you send it through again, not that the paper shifted out of place where it was, that you end up with some sort of weird like double print where the registration is off from the first time you sent it through the press. But you can try and save it that way. It doesn't always work. Okay, and so for the final reveal of my pair, there it is. So had I used a registration guide that had the size of my plate and the size of my paper on it, this would have printed straighter because I would have been set up to do that. But please notice like the loose brush qualities of the Monotype and how painterly it appears. That's something you should really celebrate about the process, that it is kind of this looser, more painterly feel to it with lots of different textures of the brush strokes. This can also be used almost like an underpainting, and you could use other mediums over top of this and make a mixed media piece as well. But this is the first process that I'd like you to try with the Monotypes with the Createx inks.